And when we tell the story of a fighter, often there is some form of adversity intertwined there. But for Chino Hill, it seems adversity is all he's ever known. You know, he was an athlete. He played basketball in high school football. Actually was set to go to junior college in Miami and play football. Tore his Achilles on his first day of practice. That was over. In terms of his family, his father in prison, his uncle Notorious also in prison. He has lost several close friends and family to gun violence over the years. And earlier in 2021, his best friend and cousin Jeremy Shorter was shot and killed at his own son's funeral. That was incredibly tough for Chino. They are like family. And in fact, Jeremy's father is Jamie Shorter. He's there. There he is. He's his trainer, and he's more than just a trainer. He's like a father figure to him. And with all he has been through, he said he's perfect. He fits perfect to be a boxer. Can't hurt him in there because he's already been through it all. Brian?
Heidi, thank you. Yeah, I mean, so many of these fighters you see on the way up have been through so much, so many terrible things surrounding them, and there's an example once again of a fighter being able to stay with his discipline because of boxing, and certainly Chino Hill has been able to come through, and a shining example of what can be done. 6-0, 5 of his wins by knockout. Should be in tough here tonight. Take a look at the tail of the tape. That is Suray Mahmutovic, who is 23 years old and a full 6'4". He has the height advantage on Hill, but Hill is also undefeated. Again, 6-0. Mahmutovic is 3-0. Hill is the older fighter, only 25 years old, still just entering his prime. Should be a good scrap here between two, again, likely experienced, but undefeated light heavyweights. Let's go back to the ring and Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here at the Armory on FS1. Once again, it is all brought to you by TGB Promotions and Warriors of Boxing. This bout will be 4 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Our 3 judges ringside are Tim Taggart Sr., Scott Erickson, and Brian Cosgrove. The referee in charge of the action is Harvey Dock. And now introducing first in the red corner, wearing the black with white trim. He weighed in at 173 1/2 pounds. His record stands unblemished, 6 victories, including 5 by knockout. Out of Davenport, Iowa, presenting the exciting Chino the Destroyer Hill.
Let's get it.
And now across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the red with gold trim, he weighed in at 173 3/4 pounds. His record stands undefeated, 3 victories, all 3 coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of San Francisco, California, presenting the undefeated Suray Mahmutovic.
All right, boxers, we went over the instructions earlier. As a reminder, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch gloves now.
Again, a 4-rounder. 3-0 versus 6-0. Joe Goose, you've spent a little time in Davenport, Iowa, when you had #1 in the world, #1 pound for pound, Michael Nunn.
Yes, Michael Nunn out of Davenport. Yeah, middleweight champ, 1988, and then some time after, especially early 90s. But then you had Antoine Eccles, who was a great middleweight fighter out of Davenport as well. And all of the fights for Chino have been in Davenport, and conversely, for Suray, all of his fights have been out of Baja, Mexico. So this is a step up in platform for both of these guys.
Right, stretching out a little bit. Suray, by the way, that comes from Sugar Ray, as in Sugar Ray Robinson. So his brother is Muhammad Ali. So Lennox, I guess that is a boxing family, right? Not hard to figure out.
It's definitely a boxing family, and it's it's the men that have the boxing name, not the women, which is well good.
That makes sense.
Okay.
In the
Yes,
meantime,
his sister Zoe.
Yeah.
So all right. So that there's not named after I don't know,
Yeah,
Mike Tyson or Henry Armstrong, anyone like that.
don't try, Brian. Don't give it up.
I'll just move on. Interesting scrap here. Again, this is the 2 undefeated light heavyweights. And again, not a lot of experience for the 2, but something on the line is a chopping right hand there from Mahmutovic. So I think both of these guys who are decent amateur fighters probably trying to figure out what they have in front of them, and they only have 4 rounds to do it.
Yeah, Mahmutovic actually, when we were having our fun at the beginning of the round, landed a good straight right hand, and as you pointed out, landed that second series of punches so far. So he's up in the round. Now you got to look at the size of him. Mahmutovic is very tall, very long. He's got that reach advantage on Chino. But I watched tapes on Chino. He's very improvisational in the ring. And if he gets his rhythm going, so to speak, as awkward as that rhythm can be, he's a real handful in the ring. So we'll see how this unfolds, but you're right. It's only a 4-rounder. You got to act quickly.
Yeah, Mahmutovic also sparred with Durrell. He sparred with a couple Murrell and a couple other guys, and that's where you can get some good experience boxing with better guys than you.
See, 1 minute to go here in round number 1. And Chino Hill also in the, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't call them leggings, so you call them, we used to call them Joe Goose at long johns, right?
Right.
You go running. But he's well, he's got pants on.
In all fairness, Brian, it is freezing here in Minnesota. in and out of the arena. So
from Iowa coming up to Minnesota, he's like, yeah, pack some long johns.
Good right
Counter
hand.
shot there.
Yeah. Now most of this
Interesting first round. Mahmutovic doing the leading.
Yeah.
Hill looking to counter.
Yeah, so far I would say Mahmutovic is really taking the play in this round, with the exception of that one good punch by Hill a few seconds ago.
2 solid amateurs earlier in their professional careers, both undefeated. And we've got 3 rounds left. Ortiz and Charles Martin in the main event. Special price, $39.99. We'll also get to see Frank Sanchez. He is a potential future heavyweight champion on the undercard, and also a rematch of the big upset that we had here on Fox a while back. Johnny Rice and Michael Coffey should be a very interesting night, and that is New Year's Day on pay-per-view. Here we've got light heavyweights, Suray Mahmutovic and Chino Hill. Round number 2, again, a 4-rounder, and a lot has to happen very quickly for these two to get some separation.
Yeah, I find Hill's very aggressive and he's doing the right things, but he needs to, land the shots. He needs to, focus on landing some body shots and then coming to the head.
Look, when it's a 4-round fight, Ryan, you don't have any time to waste. We're the halfway point of this fight. And the instructions from the corner of Hill was, you got to get more aggressive. You got to get something done here because you've already lost that. I believe he lost that first round. So he's got to win this round to even it up. And then you got 2 rounds left to decide who's going to win this fight. And right now, it looks like Suray has got the range. He's got the jab. He's got the sharper punches. He's more accurate. He seems more experienced right now in the ring.
Yeah, but Hill needs, what he's doing is going to the body, but he's forgetting to go to the head after. You can't just go to the body and then come out because you're going to get hit with shots over top. So you got to be protective by throwing shots up, so you can get out.
And Joe, to use the amateur term, it seems like Mahmutovic is getting off first. Right? It's just like that's like what they tell you in amateurs, right? Just like, hey, lead the fight, get off first, and Mahmutovic able to get, I don't know, you tell me, an advantage by doing so?
Well, yes, because again, you have to get the eye of the judges right now. It's a short fight. You've got to make it look like you're winning and win it, of course, but you got to make it look like you're winning too by being active. And he is. He's using the jab. He's using his reach. Now he sat on the ropes for a second, but look, that was nice and elusive. Even though he's the taller guy, he got underneath 2 punches and spun out, and he's back in the center of the ring again. So he's doing the right thing. And I'm talking about Suray Mahmutovic, and he's landed the punches. He looks more polished than Chino. Chino looks very aggressive. He looks strong, but he probably needs a little bit more experience to deal with this type of style that he's facing. You got to remember, Mahmutovic is also very tall. It's not easy, but see, I told you, Chino was strong. Good job.
Yeah, and Chino is doing, when I say he's making the right move by waiting until Mahmutovic goes against the ring, against the ropes, that's when he needs to seize him. He needs to go after him when he's against the ropes.
That's when he had his opportunity. But Mahmutovic is pretty slick. He got underneath as tall as he is, so give him credit.
Yeah, Mahmutovic showing very good head movement in this round as well. Good defense, good sportsmanship between the two. Chino Hill did not try a suplex of the time. And we're through 2 rounds. Now we're halfway home.
Yep.
Good light heavyweight matchup here. Suray Mahmutovic of San Francisco, Chino Hill of Davenport, Iowa. Let's go back to Heidi Angel. Heidi.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. As I mentioned off the top of this fight, Chino Hill has lost so many friends and family, many of them to gun violence. He's wearing shorts, and his trunks, you'll see there pictures of all the individuals he's lost. And also, when he walked into the arena here today, he had a T-shirt on with more photographs, just paying tribute to all those loved ones. Brian?
Well, Heidi, thank you so much. Chino Hill, first time out of Davenport, Iowa. This is the first time he's faced an opponent with a winning record, so this is a move up. He's boxing well, again, as Joe Goosey mentioned. He is very aggressive. He's a 2-time amateur champion in the state of Iowa, but now he's moving out as a professional. And Mahmutovic on the other side, Mahmutovic in the red trunks, also an accomplished amateur. He was a national youth champion at 175 pounds in 2016. So he has more experience, and it's kind of showing now in the professional ranks.
Yeah, I think it's obvious. But again, Hill looks very strong, and you don't want to get complacent in front of him because he's got a solid punch, you can tell. And he's got 5 knockouts out of his 6 wins, so he's a dangerous guy. He's going to have to pull a real rabbit out of his hat right now because Mahmutovic is actually a very well-schooled fighter at this stage of his career with only 3 fights.
Yeah, but I like what Hill's doing. He's hitting the body. He's hitting where he can hit. He's not really going after the head too much. He's starting off with the body, but he's trying to get to the head after with a couple combinations.
Yeah, I mean yeah, they just banged heads a little bit, but again, no serious damage done from those body shots. If you're going to throw a body shot, you gotta make it count, and then put some guy up. Oh, right there. See, there you go. That's
wow.
I was talking about.
And down he goes. Chino Hill able to counter off when they were in close quarters.
Good.
But he started off with the body.
But what hurt him was the shot to the head. That's the point. That caught the fighter's attention, and now the judge's attention.
And Hill firing back now with some power shots. And again, this is a 4-round fight. If he can take a 10-8 round, that will even things up very quickly. Again, it's a whole new ball game at 4 rounds. We talked about that a lot during these fights, Joe. 6-8 rounds, a lot of time. 4 rounds, not a lot of time.
Chino needs to put it on right now. You can't allow the guy to recover like this. And another thing that he's doing a little bit wrong, he's standing flat-footed. He needs to be on his toes, ready to throw a punch.
Let go, right.
See, he's coming
Good
back.
long right hand again. That's the second time he's been able to reach out with that long right hand and land.
Now we're going to have to defer.
Also getting him at full leverage, too.
Yeah, Brian, we're going to have to defer to Larry because now what happens if Mahmutovic actually comes back and evens this round up with stuff like that? Does that offset the knockdown? How is that scoring going to go? I'd really like to find out.
Well, that's it. That's a judgment call, right? It's a subjective thing. You've got to reach a certain point where you think he actually gets it back. But normally, I'm just saying, Joe, for the last few years, I don't know, a decade or two, if a guy gets knocked down, he's down 10-8. And that's it. We'll ask Larry when we get the chance in the next round. As we're about final seconds right now. But it is a possibility, Joe, it's a possibility a judge could reasonably say, okay, I'm not calling that 10-8 because the guy who got knocked down did much better through the rest of that round. Let's watch it one more time and see exactly what happened. Hey, you warned us, Joe, that Mahmutovic had to be careful, and absolutely he did. Let's go back and take a look.
All right, there's a little mix-up there on the inside. A little back and forth, wrestling and punching, double hook. And there, it was just a counter hook. That was all there was. So Hill responded to a double hook body and head from Mahmutovic with just a single punch right there. That was a good short, crisp, and he turned it over at the end too. Twisted that wrist like you're supposed to do.
Yeah, Mahmutovic was way off balance there. That's why he got caught. His feet were close together, and he had no back foot to step back on to hold his balance.
Yeah, but he went down because he got hit on the chin. That's no matter what.
All right, let's get to Larry Hazard now. Larry, your thoughts on all these things we were talking about. You had your scorecard up. Oh, and you did go 10-9. Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, it's a very interesting night, Brian. Okay, I gave Mahmutovic 9 points. I gave Hill 10. And on my scorecard, all Hill did was score a knockdown. Mahmutovic got up and he finished the round strong. Okay, and he had won most of the round.
That's right.
So that doesn't translate into a 10-8 round, not on my card. So I still, right now, I have Mahmutovic ahead, 29-28. That was a 10-9 round instead of a 10-8 round.
There you go.
Interesting.
And I agree with that. That's why I brought it up.
We're getting into the nuances of the scoring, and it's very plausible. It doesn't have to be an automatic the way it's kind of been over the last generation.
Right.
And here we have the final round. Round number 4. Suray Mahmutovic again in the red trunks. Chino Hill out of Davenport, Iowa in the white tights. And we have an interesting round here, and what has turned out to be a swing round, because we don't know how the judges are actually scoring that last round,
Right.
Joe and Lennox.
That is exactly right. And I hope they have the earphones on so they can listen to Professor Hazard.
They do not.
No, that's
That is not allowed.
But let's just put it this way. Hill needs to win this round if he wants to most likely get a draw out of this.
Right.
So it's imperative that he does, and we'll see what happens. But right now, Mahmutovic looks like he's back to what he was doing well, and that's controlling the fight by his distance with that jab, right hand. And then he's tying up. He doesn't want more Hill on the inside right now, so he's kind of tying them up when they get close together. And that's smart.
And Joe, I would just say, I would think the judges, look, and I agree with what you and Larry are saying, but I would believe the judges call that 10-8. I would expect that. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
I would not deny that at all. I think that's a distinct possibility.
Hill's doing a little bit too much waiting
of this fight
right now. He needs to really rally to try and win the rest of this round.
Yeah, and you see,
well, it's tough, right, Lennox? Even though he got that success and he's the stronger man, how difficult is it to get through that 6'4" jab?
It's pretty difficult, but what he's doing, he's covering up. He's waiting for him to finish punching before he starts punching, and he's making sure he punches more.
Finishing nicely with the hook off that jab. Yeah, as they begin to throw again. This has been a nice fight. Again, what we expected from 6-0 versus 3-0. Final 30 seconds now in the 4-rounder. Good body shot by Mahmutovic, and a hook to finish off the combination.
You know, Brian, it was kind of hard to figure out how good Mahmutovic would be, considering his 3 fights were in Baja, Mexico, and the combined record of 8 wins, 57 losses, and 4 draws. So, that. I mean, if you reverse that record and said he fought guys combined 57 and 8, you'd be impressed. But he looked good here tonight, in spite of the easy opponents he's had in the past.
Yep. I'll tell you what, that's a good fight. That's a good fight for both. Chino Hill fought well, got a knockdown, which will make the scoring much more interesting. Mahmutovic, again, for the most part, controlling the fight with his long jab and his combination throwing, and that really reflected in the CompuBox numbers as well. But this is not a fait accompli. Chino Hill, again, picked him up and then eventually knocked him down, but knocked him down legally. And in a 4-round fight, could be interesting. We'll get the judge's decision when we return. Interesting fight here. Light heavyweights. We go back. Suray Mahmutovic of San Francisco. Chino Hill of Davenport, Iowa. And it was Mahmutovic who looked like he was getting the better of it for the most part, but it was Chino Hill with the one knockdown in the fight. See the long shots from Mahmutovic. See, it got almost rough here, but good sportsmanship in the end. But then this is the one knockdown off this hook from Chino Hill that put Mahmutovic down. All right, you didn't see it there. But it would happen in round number 3. And this, we said, Joe Goosen could swing the fight.
Well, we said that could have swung the fight, but he would have needed another round. I'm trying to figure out which round he might have won. I don't know.
Right.
Having a hard time
59-33 in the CompuBox back. I didn't get the sense, and again, I'm not scoring the fight, and Larry Hazard is doing it for us. I got the sense Mahmutovic won all the rounds where he didn't get knocked down. But again, in a 4-round fight, it can get squirrely. We don't know if this is 10-8 rounds or 10-9 rounds. In any event, it was competitive, even though Mahmutovic seemed to get the better of it. So I think we're ready for the decision right now.
gonna
Let's
find
go to
out.
the ring. Could be
Yeah.
interesting. Here is Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Tim Taggart Sr. saw 39-38 for Mahmutovic. However, he was overruled as judges Brian Cosgrove and Scott Erickson both saw the contest 38-38. This fight is a majority draw.
Wow. Chino Hill is pleasantly surprised. And as we were speaking about that, we brought it to Larry Hazard. There must have been, I'm hearing two of the judges had it 10-9, even with the knockdown involved. So it ends up a draw. What do we think of that, guys?
I'm surprised. I think Hill was a little surprised.
Let me tell you, it was an interesting fight. It was a close fight, and, you know, nobody really lost.
Well, look, I don't know if we're close.
Literally, nobody lost. You're right, Lennox.